I'm thinking about having a character study, and character is defined as strength of moral fiber. A.W. Tozer said, "The excellence of gold is its purity. The excellence of art is its beauty. And the excellence of man is his character." I think Titus 3:8 says it very well. I guess I didn't have that. Find it here. "This is a faithful saying, and these things I will that thou affirm constantly, that they which have believed in God might be careful to maintain good works. These things are good and profitable unto men." Character is maintaining good works. Someone said our Christian character summarizes our walk with Christ. They also said our character is influenced by our choices. And I think we could turn that around and say our choices influence our character. Moses chose rather to suffer with the people of God to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. Joseph, "How can I do this great wickedness and sin against God?" Joshua, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Ruth, "Thy God shall be my God." Daniel resolved not to defile himself with the king's meat. These people made hard choices, and they were examples of beautiful character. So I want to look at the life of King Saul, and you can turn to 1 Samuel chapter 9. And I'm going to do some reading here. 1 Samuel chapter 9. Now there was a man of Benjamin whose name was Kish, the son of Abdiel, son of Zeror, the son of Bechorath, the son of Aphiah, a Benjamite, a mighty man of power. And he had a son whose name was Saul, a choice young man and goodly. And there was not among the children of Israel a goodlier person than he. From the shoulders and upward, he was higher than any of the people. And the asses of Kish, Saul's father, were lost. And Kish said to Saul his son, "Take now one of the servants with thee, and arise, go seek the asses." And he passed through Mount Ephraim, passed through the land of Shalisha, but they found them not. Then they passed through the land of Shalem, and there they were not. And he passed through the land of the Benjamites, but they found them not. And when they were come to the land of Zuph, Saul said to his servant that was with him, "Come, let us return, lest my father leave caring for the asses and take thought for us." And he said unto him, "Behold, now there is in this city a man of God, and he is an honorable man. All that he saith cometh surely to pass. Now let us go thither. Peradventure he can show us our way that we should go." Then said Saul to his servant, "But behold, if we go, what shall we bring the man? For the bread is spent in our vessels. There's not a present to bring the man of God. What have we?" And the servant answered Saul again, "Well, behold, I have here at hand the fourth part of a shekel of silver. That will I give to the man of God to tell us our way." Before in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, thus he spake, "Come, let us go to the seer." For he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer. Then said Saul to his servant, "Well said. Come, let's go." So they went into the city where the man of God was. And as they went up to the hills of the city, they found young maidens going out to draw water. Said to them, "Is a seer here?" And they answered them, said, "Oh, he is. Behold, he is before you. Make haste now, for he came today to the city, for there is a sacrifice of the people today in the high place. As soon as ye be come into the city, ye shall straightway find him, before he go up to the high place to eat. For the people will not eat until he come, because he doth bless the sacrifice. And afterwards they eat that be bidden. Now therefore get you up, for about this time you shall find him." And they went up into the city. And when they were coming to the city, behold, Samuel came out against them for to go up to the high place. Now the Lord had told Samuel in his ear a day before Saul came, saying, "Tomorrow about this time I will send thee a man out of the land of Benjamin, and thou shalt anoint him to be the captain over my people, Israel, that he may save my people out of the hand of the Philistines. For I have looked upon my people, because their cry is come unto me." And when Samuel saw Saul, the Lord said unto him, "Behold, the man whom I spake to thee of, this same shall reign over my people." Then Saul drew near to Samuel in the gate and said, "Tell me, I pray thee, where's the seer's house?" And Samuel answered Saul and said, "Well, I'm the seer. Go up before me to the high place, for you shall eat with me today. And tomorrow I will let you go. And I'll tell you all that is in thine heart. And as for the asses that thou were lost 3 days ago, set not thy mind on them, for they are found. And on whom is all the desire of Israel? Is it not on thee and on thy father's house?" And Saul answered and said, "Am I not a Benjamite, of the smallest of the tribes of Israel, and my family the least of all the families of the tribe of Benjamin? Wherefore then speakest thou so to me?" Samuel took Saul and his servant and brought them into the parlor and made them sit in the chiefest place among them that were bidden, which were about 30 persons. And Samuel said unto the cook, "Bring the portion which I gave thee, of which I said unto thee, set it by thee." And the cook took up the shoulder and that which was upon it, and set it before Saul. And Samuel said, "Behold, that which is left, set it before thee, and eat. For unto this time hath it been kept for thee, since I said, I have invited the people." So Saul did eat with Samuel that day. And when they were come down for the high place into the city, Samuel communed with Saul upon the top of the house. And they arose early, and it came to pass about the spring of the day that Samuel called Saul to the top of the house, saying, "Up, that I may send thee away." And Saul arose, and they went out, both of them, he and Samuel, abroad. And as they were going down to the end of the city, Samuel said to Saul, "Bid the servant pass on before us." And he passed on. "But stand thou still a while, that I may show thee the word of God." Then Samuel took a vial of oil and poured it upon his head and kissed him and said, "Is it not because the Lord hath anointed thee to be captain over his inheritance? And when thou art departed from me today, then thou shalt find 2 men by Rachel's sepulchre in the border of Benjamin at Zelah, and they will say to thee, The asses which thou wentest to seek are found. And lo, thy father hath left caring for the asses, and sorroweth for you, saying, What shall I do for my son? Then shalt thou go on forward from thence. Thou shalt come to the plain of Tabor, and there shall meet thee 3 men going up to God to Bethel, one carrying 3 kids, another carrying 3 loaves of bread, and another carrying a bottle of wine. And they will salute you and give you 2 loaves of bread, which thou shalt receive of them, their hands. And after that thou shalt come to the hill of God, where is the garrison of the Philistines. And it shall come to pass, when thou art come to the city, that thou shalt meet a company of prophets coming down from the high place with a psaltery and with a tabret and a pipe and a harp before them, and they shall prophesy. Excuse me. And the Spirit of the Lord will come upon thee, and thou shalt prophesy with them, and shalt be turned into another man. And let it be, when these signs are coming to thee, that thou do as occasion serve thee, for God is with thee. And thou shalt go down before me to Gilgal, and behold, I will come down unto thee to offer burnt offerings and to sacrifice sacrifices of peace offerings. 7 days shalt thou tarry till I come to thee and show thee what thou shalt do. And it was so that when he had turned his back to go from Samuel, God gave him another heart. And all those signs came to pass that day. And when they came thither to the hill, behold, a company of prophets met him, and the Spirit of God came upon him, and he prophesied among them. And it came to pass, when all that knew him before time saw that Behold, he prophesied among the prophets. Then the people said one to another, what is this that he's come to the son of Kish? Is Saul also among the prophets? And one of the same place answered and said, but who is their father? Therefore it became a proverb, is Saul also among the prophets? And when he had made an end of prophesying, he came to the high place. Saul's uncle said to him, to his servant, whither went ye? And he said, to seek the asses. And when they saw that they were nowhere, we came to Samuel. And Saul's uncle said, tell me, I pray thee, what did Samuel say to you? Saul said to his uncle, he told us plainly that the asses were found. But the matter of the kingdom whereof Samuel spake, he told him not. And Samuel called the people together unto the Lord to Mizpah, said to the children of Israel, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, I brought up Israel out of Egypt and delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians and out of the hand of all the kingdoms that oppressed you. And ye have this day rejected your God, who himself saved you out of all your adversaries and your tribulations. And ye have said to him, nay, but set a king over us. Now therefore, present yourselves before the Lord by your tribes and by your thousands. And when Samuel had caused all the tribes of Israel to come near, the tribe of Benjamin was taken. And when he had caused the tribe of Benjamin to come near, all their families, the family of Matri was taken. And Saul, the son of Kish, was taken. And when they sought him, he could not be found. Therefore they inquired of the Lord further, if the man should come yet thither. And the Lord answered, behold, he hath hid himself among the stuff. And they ran and fetched him thence. And when he stood among the people, he was higher than any of the people from his shoulders and upward. And Samuel said to all the people, see ye him whom the Lord hath chosen, that there is none like him among all the people. And all the people shouted and said, God save the king. Then Samuel told the people the manner of the kingdom and wrote it in a book, laid it before the Lord. And Samuel sent all the people away, every man to his house. And Saul also went home to Gibeah. And there went with him a band of men whose hearts God had touched. But the children of Belial said, how shall this man save us? And they despised him and brought him no presents. But he held his peace. Then Nahash, son of Ammonite, came up and encamped against Jabesh-Gilead, and all the men of Jabesh said unto Nahash, make a covenant with us, and we'll serve you. And Nahash the Ammonite answered them, on this condition will I make a covenant with you, that I may thrust out all of your right eyes and lay up for a reproach upon Israel. And the elders of Jabesh said unto him, give us 7 days respite, that we may send messengers into all the coasts of Israel. And then, if there be no man to save us, we'll come out to you. Then came the messengers to Gibeah of Saul, and told the tidings in the ears of the people, and all the people lifted up their voices and wept. And behold, Saul came after the herd out of the field. And Saul said, what aileth the people? Why weep they? And they told him the tidings of the men of Jabesh. And the Spirit of God came upon Saul when he heard those tidings, and his anger was kindled greatly, and he took the yoke of oxen, hewed them in pieces, and sent them throughout all the coasts of Israel by the hands of messengers, saying, whosoever cometh not forth after Saul and after Samuel, so shall it be done unto his oxen. And the fear of the Lord fell on all the people, and they came out with one consent. And when he numbered them in Bezek, the children of Israel were 300,000, and the men of Judah 30,000. And they said unto the messengers that came, thus shall ye say to the men of Jabesh-Gilead, tomorrow, by that time the sun be hot, ye shall have help. And the messengers came and showed it unto the men of Jabesh, and they were glad. Therefore the men of Jabesh said, tomorrow we will come out unto you, and ye shall do with us whatever seems good to you. And so it was on the morrow that Saul put the people in 3 companies, and they came into the midst of the host in the morning watch, and slew the Ammonites till the heat of the day. And it came to pass that they which remained were scattered, so that 2 of them were not left together. And the people said unto Samuel, who is he that said, shall Saul reign over us? Bring the men, that we may put them to death. And Saul said, there shall not a man be put to death this day For today the Lord hath wrought salvation in Israel. Then said Samuel to the people, Come, let us go to Gilgal and renew the kingdom there. And all the people went to Gilgal, and there they made Saul king before the Lord in Gilgal. And there they sacrificed sacrifices of peace offerings before the Lord. And there Saul and all the men of Israel rejoiced greatly. Wow. That's an interesting story. And you know, there's a lot of character there. He was obedient to his father when he said, Go search for the asses. And he didn't stop. He kept searching, and he kept searching, and he kept searching. Diligent search. He didn't give up quickly. He had a high respect for Samuel, the seer. And you know, that's character. When we respect our elders, our leaders, that's character. When Samuel said, All Israel is looking to you, he said, What? I'm the least of the tribes. I'm the littlest guy. Humility. When his uncle said, Hey, what did Samuel tell you? He said, Well, he made me. No, he didn't even tell him. That's character. When we can withhold something that would make us popular, maybe, and not say it. And then when they were calling for him, he was hiding among the stuff. Again, to me, that looked like humility. And when the sons of Belial said, Yeah, how's he going to reign over us? And then the others said, Where are they at? Let's do away with them. Saul said, Come on now. No. Today is a happy day. Nobody's going to die today. To me, that was character. Well, to this time, it seems like Saul was a man of great character. But now in chapter 13, he sins and begins a downward slide. And I want to read the first 14 verses there. Saul reigned 1 year, and when he had reigned 2 years over Israel, Saul chose him 3,000 men of Israel, whereof 2,000 were with Saul in Michmash and in Mount Bethel, and 1,000 were with Jonathan in Gibeah of Benjamin, and the rest of the people he sent every man to his tent. And Jonathan smote the garrison of the Philistines that was in Gibeah, and the Philistines heard of it, and Saul blew the trumpet throughout all the land, saying, Let the Hebrews hear. And all Israel heard say that Saul had smitten the garrison of the Philistines, and that Israel also had an abomination with the Philistines. And the people were called together after Saul to Gilgal, and the Philistines gathered themselves together to fight with Israel. 30,000 chariots, 6,000 horsemen, and people as the sand which is on the seashore in multitude. And they came up and pitched in Michmash eastward from Beth-aven. And when the men of Israel saw that they were in a strait, for the people were distressed, and the people did hide themselves in caves and thickets and rocks and high places and in pits, and some of the Hebrews went over to the Jordan to the land of Gad and Gilead. And as for Saul, he was yet in Gilgal, and all the people followed him trembling. And he tarried 7 days, according to the set time that Samuel had appointed. But Samuel came not to Gilgal, and the people were scattered from him. And Saul said, Bring hither the burnt offering to me, and the peace offerings. And he offered the burnt offering. And it came to pass that as soon as he had made an end of the offering, behold, Samuel came. And Saul went out to meet him, that he might salute him. And Samuel said, What hast thou done? And Saul said, Well, I saw the people were scattered from me, and thou camest not within the set days appointed, and that the Philistines gathered themselves together at Michmash. And therefore I said, The Philistines will come down now upon me to Gilgal, and I have not made supplication unto the Lord. I forced myself, therefore, and offered a burnt offering. And Samuel said to Saul, Thou hast done foolishly. Thou hast not kept the commandment of the Lord thy God, which he commanded thee. For now would the Lord have established thy kingdom upon Israel forever. But now thy kingdom shall not continue. The Lord hath sought out a man after his own heart, and the Lord hath commanded him to be captain over my people, because thou hast not kept that which the Lord commanded thee. Wow. I forced myself. And we look in vain to find him repenting of that. It would be nice if we could go down here and say that Saul bitterly wept and asked for forgiveness and all, but he didn't. He didn't. Then in chapter 14, the next chapter here, Jonathan went out and victoriously won a tremendous garrison of the Philistines, he and his armor bearer, all by himself. And during that time, King Saul had made a foolish oath. He said, anybody that eats anything today, is going to die. Well, Jonathan hadn't heard that, and he had dipped his rod in some honey and licked it. And Saul found out about it, and he said he has to die. And the people said, King Saul, no, it's wrong. He's not going to die. He brought victory in Israel today. So there we see, again, Saul's lack of wisdom. Saul's sliding down, not making those wise choices like he made before when they were victorious over the enemy. Then, in chapter 15, turn another page here. Wow. I was going to read the first 35 verses there, but it's almost too much. Anyhow, let's say verse 10. Let's start. Then came the word of the Lord to Samuel, saying, It repenteth me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he has turned back from following me and hath not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Lord all night. And when Samuel rose early to meet Saul in the morning, it was told Samuel, saying, Saul came to Carmel, and behold, he set him up a place, and he's gone about and passed on and gone down to Gilgal. And Samuel came to Saul, and Saul said to him, Blessed be thou the Lord. I performed the commandment of the Lord. I guess we missed. I just can't hardly. He was supposed to kill everybody and not spare any animals or anything, and he spared the people. He said the people. Well, we'll read that here. Samuel came to Saul and Blessed be thou the Lord. I have performed the commandment of the Lord. Samuel said, Well, what means the bleating of the sheep in my ears and the lowing of the oxen which I hear? Saul said, Yeah, they have brought them from the Amalekites, for the people spared the best of the sheep and of the oxen to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God, and the rest we have utterly destroyed. And then Samuel said to Saul, Stay, and I'll tell you what the Lord has said to me. Samuel said, When thou wast little in thine own sight, wast thou not made head of the tribes of Israel? And the Lord anointed thee king over Israel? And the Lord sent thee on a journey and said, Go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed. Wherefore then thou didst not obey the voice of the Lord, and didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord? And Saul said to Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and have brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took of the spoil, sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which have been destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God in Gilgal. Samuel said, Hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices and obeying the voice of the Lord? Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he also hath rejected thee from being king. Then Saul did say, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord. I feared the people and obeyed their voice. But I pray thee, pardon my sin, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord. Samuel said, I will not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord hath rejected thee from being king of Israel. Samuel turned about to go away, and he laid hold upon his skirt of his mantle and rent it. And Samuel said unto him, the Lord hath rent the kingdom of Israel from thee this day, and hath given it to thy neighbor that is better than thou. And also the strength of Israel will not lie nor repent, for he is not a man that he should repent. Then he said, I have sinned. Yet honor me now, I pray thee, before the elders of my people and before Israel. Turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord thy God. So Samuel turned again after Saul, and Saul worshipped the Lord. Then said Samuel, bring ye hither me Agag, king of the Amalekites. And Agag came unto him diligently. And Agag said, surely the bitterness of death is past. And Samuel said, as thy sword hath made women childless, so shall thy mother be childless among women. And Samuel hewed King Agag in pieces before the Lord in Gilgal. Then Samuel went to Ramah, and Saul went to his house in Gibeah. Samuel came no more to see Saul until the day of his death. Nevertheless, Samuel mourned for Saul, and the Lord repented that he had made Saul king over Israel. So we see the downward slide. It's disobedience, and it's not really true repentance. Honor me yet now among the people. What a sad situation he finds himself in. And it seems like in chapter 17 then is the story about Goliath. David kills Goliath. And chapter 18, verses 7 and 8 here. And the women answered one another as they played and said, Saul hath slain his thousands, and David his 10,000s. Saul heard that. Saul was very wroth. The saying displeased him, and he said, they have ascribed to David 10,000s, and to me they have ascribed but thousands. And what can he have more but the kingdom? And Saul eyed David from that day forward. Again, jealousy. He's not able to accept that another had outperformed him. His character sliding down. Jealousy is as cruel as the grave. And here he had, in chapter 18, verses, we did read 7 and 8. Well, in the next chapters now, 19, 20, 21, 22, Saul is chasing David like a partridge on a mountain. And he is very angry, and he's going to kill David if he possibly can. So this is yielding now to murder. How low can a person go? Another step downward. Chapter 28. Verses 4 to 8. And the Philistines gathered themselves together and came and pitched in Sham. And Saul gathered all Israel together, and they pitched in Gilboa. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid, and his heart greatly trembled. And when Saul inquired of the Lord answered him not. Again, there's several times through those chapters that the Lord didn't answer him. Then said Saul unto his servant, seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit, that I may go to her and inquire of her. And his servant said to him, behold, there's a woman that hath a familiar spirit at Endor. And Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment, and he went. 2 men with him, and they came to the woman by night, and he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by a familiar spirit, and bring me him up, whom I shall name unto thee. And the woman said unto him, Behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, how he hath cut off all those that have familiar spirits and wizards out of the land, where then layest thou a snare for my life? It caused me to die. And Saul sware to her by the Lord, saying, As the Lord liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. And then said the woman, Well, whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, Bring me up Samuel. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, Why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. The king said unto her, Be not afraid. What sawest thou? The woman said, I saw the gods ascending out of the earth. He said to her, What form was he of? And she said, Well, an old man cometh up. He's covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel. And he stooped with his face to the ground and bowed himself. And Samuel said to Saul, Why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I'm sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and God has departed from me, and answers me no more by prophets or dreams, and therefore I have called you, that you may make known to me what I shall do. And then Samuel said, Wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing the Lord is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy? And the Lord hath done to him as he spake by me, for the Lord hath rent the kingdom out of thine hand, and given it to thy neighbor, even to David, because thou obeyest not the voice of the Lord, nor executest his fierce wrath upon Amalek. Therefore hath the Lord done this thing unto thee this day. Moreover, the Lord will deliver Israel with thee into the hand of the Philistines, and tomorrow thou and thy sons shall be with me. The Lord also shall deliver the host of Israel into the hand of the Philistines. And then Saul fell straightway all along the earth. Wow. It just amazes me to the depths that this man went. Then chapter 31 yet. We're about done here. Now, the Philistines fought against Israel, and the men of Israel fled from before the Philistines and fell down slain in Gilboa. And the Philistines followed hard upon Saul and upon his sons, and the Philistines slew Jonathan and Abinadab and Melchishua, Saul's sons. And the battle went sore against Saul, and the archers hit him, and he was sore wounded by the archers. And then said Saul to his armor-bearer, Draw thy sword and thrust me through therewith, lest these uncircumcised come and thrust me through and abuse me. But his armor-bearer would not, for he was sore afraid. Therefore Saul took a sword and fell upon it. And when his armor-bearer saw that Saul was dead, he fell likewise upon his sword and died with him. So Saul died, and his 3 sons, and his armor-bearer, and all his men that same day together. That's the end of the story. What a sad ending. Sin, like it's said, sin will take you further than you want to go and keep you longer than you want to stay. To think how he had started out. Such a choice young man, making good choices, a person of character. And slowly he began to go down, and he went down to the very bottom. That young man that had started out so well. And in 1 Chronicles, there's one verse yet, or a couple verses there. 1 Chronicles 10:8. And it came to pass on the morrow when the Philistines came to strip the slain, that they found Saul and his sons fallen in Mount Gilboa. And when they had stripped him, they took his head and his armor and sent it into the land of the Philistines round about, to carry tidings unto their idols and to the people. And they put his armor in the house of their gods, and they fastened his head in the temple of Dagon. Wow. Well, that's the end of the story. We want to keep on keeping on. And we don't want to think, well, that couldn't happen to me. Because it could. If we're not continue to serve the Lord, it will happen to us.